Welcome back. It's going to be another. This is going to be a real short one of the Capture the Moment podcast with me and my buddy Lamar. Yeah, so there were a couple things I wanted to touch base on in like the geek gaming nerd sphere. So, have you seen any of the Snyderverse stuff?
No, I have not. I have not
So
seen
I'm
it.
I'm wondering, and I'm gonna lead it to some speculation here because I've been seeing. First, I saw Tyrone Magnus. He covered a story that he had, and all the things he covers, somebody else covered. So it's
Yeah.
not like he's doing a lot of digging and research.
You know
Um,
what, bro? I don't even be honest. I don't watch him like I used to anymore.
yeah, and
I
I
will
don't
vote for
either.
Campia.
Yeah,
You know,
I
he's
don't
not the
either.
same
But
Tyrone
but
Magnus
here's
that I subscribe to,
but
so I
listen
don't
to
fuck with him.
listen to this what I'm saying though. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of I've seen like 10 or 15 videos pop up about the Snyderverse. Snyderverse is
yeah.
back, it's coming back, all this different stuff. But the
Hmm.
reason I think this is happening, they said one of the channels I watched, there was like I think they said November 17th was bring back the Snyderverse movement, that a bunch of people were putting content out there to try to hype up the Snyderverse in anticipation of either Netflix or NBC or the Saudis, whatever, however it's supposed to go, that Warner Brothers might be sold and that they may try to reattempt to continue where the Snyderverse left off. But the reason I'm saying this is, dude, Campia is one of the like if Campia is talking about it, then that's been in official Hollywood circles, like the Rap, different outlets that cover actual sanctioned, verified movie news. If
Right.
Tyrone's talking about something, it could just be a rumor. It could just be
Yeah.
some blogger guy talking about it that he covers in hopes of whatever. So I'm a little hesitant to believe it because all these articles and Campia hasn't said anything about it.
That's
So
what I'm
I'm
saying.
kind of
Yeah.
thinking maybe this isn't legit. Maybe it's them getting their hopes up. It could be a movement by the Snyder fans to say, look, why don't we put out an article or put out some speculatory videos, and maybe it'll catch steam. And if Tyrone Magnus, a big YouTuber, posts it, well, then people that watch him may post as well and flood the industry, flood YouTube with an overwhelming. And then they can say, look how many people, look at all the interest in Snyderverse, and that they
Right.
can try to use that as a pitch. I'm
Yeah.
saying that they may be trying to basically flip it rather than it actually being news and they're saying something about it. I feel like there's a chance they may have put this out there to have it try to become news to
Yeah.
then
Just like they got him to
react.
release the Snyder cut of what was that? Justice with the Justice League movie?
Yeah, the
Everybody
Justice League.
begged.
So,
Yeah, they begged for that, so they got it.
because
So
I'm
they're trying
thinking,
to do it for this.
yeah, I'm thinking this may not be legit. Like, it may actually not be because the article is like, oh, Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder are teaming up with the Saudis to resurrect the DCEU, and I'm
Hmm.
like, wait, I haven't heard anything about this on official movie channels. Like
Right.
Campia hasn't talked about it. Other, there's a couple other big, like the Real Rejects. Sometimes will talk about some things, or
Yeah.
Christian
Yeah. I follow
Harloff.
them.
Some of
Hmm.
them will talk about, and all in that movie pundit sphere. And no one has mentioned it. So I'm kind of
Hmm.
thinking this is like a false narrative going on. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of speculating that maybe there's not a truth to it, but we'll see. I
Yeah.
just didn't know if you had heard about it, if you had seen any of those videos, and I'm the same way,
I seen
dude.
the
I mean,
thumbnail. I seen the thumbnail. I saw it, and it's ironic you said that because it was a Tyrone Magnus video.
yeah, and
And I
dude, I don't
deleted. I
watch
was
him
like, I
like
ain't gonna
that
watch it. Yeah.
either anymore because I feel
Hmm.
like all his content is a little bit more. It's changed. Like at one point, it was like he was making content that he was super passionate about and whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like now it's just like making
He,
massive content for the sake of making content,
yeah. Yeah.
Um, and whether it's shit talking. I mean, he'll still give an honest opinion, but like shit talking about the DCU and James Gunn's Superman, and complaining about this,
Yeah,
and talking about woke shit, and it's like,
and it's go ahead.
no, no. My thing is just the thing of like, I don't follow any complaint channels. I don't want to
No,
deal with like, I mean, dude, if it sucks, it sucks, and I want to have someone like be bummed out that something sucks rather than angry and pissed something sucks. Like,
there
we
you
all
go.
want movies to be great. We all want, like, if we're into Marvel or DC or video games, we want that shit to be hype as fuck. We want every incarnation of whatever it is to be sick.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
how I feel.
getting mad at Capcom for the newest patch in Street Fighter 6, or that they released these characters instead of these characters, or trying to boycott Capcom because Monster Hunter didn't do this that I wanted, or whatever. It's like, dude, I mean, again, if you're not into it, okay, move on to something else rather than
Hold
sitting
on one
there.
second, bro. Hold on one
All right.
second, buddy.
I
Hopefully.
believe it's coming. Even though they gave
Oh,
us Daima, but
actually, I know what we were talking about. We were talking about, I was telling you about the Snyderverse stuff, and I was telling you that I had seen videos on, like, Tyrone Magnus and different ones talking about Snyderverse coming back, yet Campia hasn't covered it at all. So I don't know if it's just a pipe dream at this time, or if there's any real, like, if it's more of a movement to get
yeah,
attention. Because
when
the
it
fact
comes to
that Zack
Tyrone
Snyder,
and this and
well, no,
Snyder,
totally despite him, but the fact that Zack
hmm
Snyder keeps posting, like, dude, every other day this guy's posting, like, a picture that he never had put up of Batman or Superman or
okay,
whatever. It's like, it seems like he's fanning the flames to either get attention or to build this movement up. Maybe he's decided he wants another crack at it. And if
yeah,
what do you think about, like, because the fact that Warner Brothers almost guaranteed is getting sold, like, it's not 100%, but it's like 95% that the whole company, Warner Brothers, is being, like, gonna probably be bought by either Netflix or Paramount or something. And if that's the case, that leadership at Warner Brothers may change. Like, either the David Zaslav, has been, like,
mm,
offered co-chairmanship or chair CEO of Paramount along with this David Ellison or whatever.
yeah,
And so, just weird things that I'm like, well, that's a pretty big move. And so who knows? I mean, if, like, could they resurrect the Snyderverse and meanwhile keep the James Gunn? Would they be audacious enough? We know back in the day when Arrow was on and these different shows were on, Warner Brothers execs and the higher ups were so scared of, like, confusing or whatever, that, like, they would ban the Arrowverse from using a character because they thought they might use them in a movie. Like,
hmm,
shit like that. Like, the guy who played Deathstroke in Arrow, they forced out of the show because there was the thought that they were going what's his name, Magniello, from True Blood and or whatever it is, and he was supposed to play Deathstroke. He was Deathstroke in Justice League. He was only in one scene, but
huh,
Joe Manganiello or whatever his name is. And that's why they forced him out of the Arrow show, because they didn't want them using that character and, like, confusing the timeline and confusing the actors, and yet then it didn't even happen. So you took one of the best characters out of one of your DC TV properties in the hopes that you were going to use them because you thought you were going to use them in the movie, but then that didn't work out. And it's like, dude, TV and movie can be separate. Like, you don't have to do it like that. Like,
right,
and yet they were fine having two Supermen. They were fine having Henry Cavill and having the guy who played Superman in the Arrowverse and in Supergirl. Like, they were fine with that, but yet not having Slade Wilson in two things at the same time, like, it's just fucked up mindset. I hope they get past all that and they're able to see, like, but I mean, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think they would do two simultaneous universes at the same time, or
That really wouldn't make a lot of sense for them. In my opinion, I don't think that would be a good idea. As far as the Snyderverse is concerned, he's probably getting that hype up. Remember how he did when he wanted to release that Justice League?
Yeah.
And that worked. They did get hype up, and they did release it. But we talking about a whole fucking series of movies,
Well, he wanted to do Justice League was going to be split into 3 movies originally. So, like, in his mind, he still has Justice League 2 and 3 that he wants to finish. Do you think there's any chance of like, if this movement gets enough ground or gets enough footing, that somehow, and especially if it gets sold, if Warner Brothers gets sold in some capacity, do you think there's any world where they say, okay, you can do a follow-up, this is going to finish your Snyderverse trilogy, and that's the end. Like, it's done. And if, we could even consider putting out theatrical. We obviously aren't going to step on our own toes. We're not going to put it out to compete with our other DC main storyline, but we can release it as kind of an Elseworlds what if, finish up that story. And, I mean, I don't know. Would that make any sense?
I mean, now that you mention it, because now
part of the reason they stopped the Snyderverse is because it wasn't making money. So even though you have all these passionate, I feel like passionate bros that are like super, insane for that universe, that gritty, dark universe that they created. But yeah, I mean, do you think there's even realistically any chance of that happening, or is that just a pipe dream?
That's a lot, because when I think about Warner Brothers, it's not even that. If they have to sell it, then what happens to Mortal Kombat? What happens to, any of these other, properties that Warner Brothers is over? But I feel like, now that I'm just thinking about it, because Marvel, when you said Elseworlds, I was like, oh, okay, because remember Marvel, they got the different spin-offs, and I guess DC could do the same thing, with they have enough properties, and not just keep it, like regular shows like Peacemaker. I still haven't seen all this. I just watched the first episode of season 2 about a few days ago, and it seemed like it's going to be interesting. I mean, didn't you see season 2 of Peacemaker?
So here's, I'm not going to go into spoilers. I know you don't normally don't care, but my thought on it, and this was Campia's thought on it, and I kind of felt the same way, is that, like, I thought, man, this is, really fun. This is setting up a lot of stuff. It's really cool. It seems like, this was, I didn't know where it was going. And then it kind of wrapped up, and you're like, well, wait, what? Like, and then, it kind of leaves off with a cliffhanger, but it also doesn't seem like it's going to necessarily be resolved, at least not anytime soon. Like, maybe within the next few movies, because I don't think they're supposed to be doing any more Peacemaker. So, you're going to need to follow up somehow with maybe one of the movies somehow would then, you'd really have to watch it.
It was a movie. What was the Peacemaker movie where he had all the, like, the polka dot guy, and it was I forget the name of it.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. They have to do another Suicide Squad movie. Yeah.
Well, there's not gonna be. I mean, all that's squashed. Like the whole universe. Basically all of Peacemaker. There's a lot of stuff that happens in the show. I assume you knew that there's a lot of, like, kind of a little bit of tweaking, like multiversal stuff going on in and out of, there's another world that's basically very similar in some ways. So there's a lot of that, and there's whatever. But
Yeah, I noticed he went through one of the door. I guess it's like a portal. Then he went into one where his father's alive and his brother's alive, and that was the first.
Like,
like I said, I only saw the first episode.
There's a lot of that stuff, and it's just like, who knows how they'll. I mean, where they left off in the last episode is just kind of like, huh. And it felt like all the momentum led up to, like, basically the episode before the last episode. And then the last episode felt oddly a little different. Like, it was like maybe felt a little hurried or a little rushed, or maybe that was filmed separately, like time-wise. Like maybe they did the first 7 episodes and then took like a 3-month break. And it just, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like the last episode had like a little bit different tone or shift or something. So, I'm very curious what you think about it.
I'm gonna continue to watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna continue watching it, but I've also been. I think I mentioned I was watching that Welcome to Derry.
Oh,
Oh man, that's good. I like that, man. I know you probably not the big horror fan, but it's actually good. It's actually great storytelling.
So is it just background of the town, or is it like in it at all? Like
he's in it. He's in it. And man, the lore, man. Jeez, his lore is I'm
sure really dark, past and torture and snuff films or whatever.
No. That's nothing like that. You heard of like Cthulhu, like cosmic horror, like what I'm saying? I forget the name of the Lovecraft.
Well, it seemed a little a tiny bit otherworldly in the fact that when like the floating thing, everything floats, and like I was like, wait, is this some kind of like anti-grav? Like, is this like alien or like
he's like
otherworldly?
He is a evil cosmic entity that like was created in the beginning of time, and he's like the negative, and the positive is like I know it's like a weird like it's still on some Lovecraftian type shit where the good guy is actually this big ass turtle called Majoran. He's like the good entity, and it is the embodiment of evil, and he falls to Earth like millions of years ago, like in this meteorite, and when it hit the Earth, this is like millions of years before humans even came, and it just stayed there. But the only thing that could kind of keep it at bay, well, I don't know, you might not watch it anyway, but I don't know. Okay,
I may. You don't need to tell me all that.
All you need to know is that it's deeper than. I thought he was that too. I thought he was just some, killer. The usual evil spirit.
That Welcome to Derry was going to be like maybe focus on a family who was like during the events of the movie, but like from an outside perspective, or like a little bit of backstory, a little bit of lore, a little bit of
much lore. I mean, it tells you everything, how all the kids end up missing, because it basically it does something to the town where they forget. It's like kids be missing. And he.
Well, I'll check it out.
It's really good, man.
I wanted to talk to you about, because I'm going to be home probably in about 5 or 10 minutes. So I wanted to touch base on a couple last things real quick. Have you been seeing any more of like the Invincible, alpha, and like Max was playing, different people were playing? What do you think of like, more characters?
This is my thing with that game. I got to get my hand on it. I got to get my hands once again, because it looks jittery. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but I don't know. I don't think it looks that bad. People complain about it, how it like kind of seems a little low, but it seems okay. It just seems to me that when you're watching these fights, it feels very repetitive, similar feeling. Like I feel like everybody kind of has a dial a combo and then whatever. And Max did he did a super 3 times with Omni-Man, and just like an OTG ground grab, and he's like, damn, 3 times in a row they let you do this? And I was like, huh.
It's like that.
Marvel Tokon, they are changing some fundamentals with the game.
Oh yeah. I
and
saw
that's
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yet I still now I'm feeling like, man, dude, like they're in a dangerous point here, because now they're going into the second alpha or beta or whatever, and you only have 8 characters. I was like, dude, these beginning rosters, I would almost rather some of these games not even get announced until you have, like, imagine if back in the day Street Fighter 2, and like, you know how we had 2 and then Champion Edition and whatever? Imagine if instead of the way it was, imagine if Street Fighter 2 had 4 characters.
Oh,
and then, Street Fighter Champion Edition added like 2 more, like Zangief and Dalsum. And then, like, it's like piecemeal. It just feels like, I'm like, wait, what? Like, you're coming out with a game with 8 characters, with 4 characters? Like, that just seems like, I realize they're thinking DLC, they're thinking seasons, and get it in the hands of people and test, and they want to test the network and test, gameplay mechanics. So what about, have you seen any more about the Avatar Legends and the fact that it's going to be like kind of a little bit Mortal Kombat style, how you pick a different assist and it affects your move set to be like MK10, where like you have a key move set, but like if you pick an assist, it may like, one may make your projectiles faster and stronger, and one may make your dodging ability, or make your movement affected a little bit more for mix-ups, and one may make you like, and I was like, that sounds
pretty cool.
But again, they have like 6 characters so far, that's what's making me kind of feel, I mean, dude, I'm coming from an era of Marvel 2 and Marvel 3 with 50 characters, and
out
3,
the gate.
and I'm just like, I mean, at least Marvel 2, it did technically only launch with, the base roster of like 24 characters.
But you have to unlock everybody else.
You unlock them, and by playing. So there was a gimmick to it. But again, imagine if Marvel 2 had launched with like, it's like playing Marvel 1. You play Marvel 1 and you're like, oh shit, this only is 12 characters, or you play X-Men vs. Street Fighter and it has 10 characters or whatever. But I don't know. I just didn't know if you had seen that, what your thoughts were on that.
My thing, as far as the Avatar game, I'll be honest, I really haven't really kept up with it. I will, check it out. But back to the Tokon though, I agree with Max on that, man. It's like I was looking at, that first beta, and everybody was doing the same damn combo over and over and over and over. And he even said it, and
that's a very simple way to look at it, but like I even felt that way with Dragon Ball Fighters. And
in the beginning.
No, and I know the game changed a lot, but I'm just saying, at a quick glance, when I first was talking about Dragon Ball Fighters, and my first thoughts on it is like, dude, everyone's doing the same 1, 2, 3, whatever, and then the knock them up and follow after them, and this, and triple DHC and whatever, and like, it looks cool and the graphics, whatever. So I hope these games find ways to keep it interesting, exciting, make characters, make the players be able to express themselves through the characters and through the gameplay. Have some cool mechanics. I'm just excited to see more characters in 2XKO. I think 2XKO is seeming like a really sick game. I just want a bigger cast at this point, and I want it to be off of Steam. I want it to be on PlayStation and whatever. And it's like, dude, you can't do it. Back in the day, they used to do alphas and betas on console.
Yeah, they did, which is weird. I don't get it. Everything is on PC now.
Everything's Steam now because it's just probably the easiest. They don't have to like go in the special coding and special, the least amount of customization and menus and whatever probably is through using Steam. because it's more PC based, and I don't know, but I wish, that's the biggest thing for like those 3 games. Dude, you guys need a bigger roster. You guys are really going to be struggling if you come out with a game and you say first season launch has 6 characters or 10 characters. It's like, dude, we come from an era. We come from an era. I mean, dude, even shit like Third Strike eventually had, 15, 20 characters. But you look at, you look at Marvel 2, you look at Marvel 3 and Ultimate 3. You look at some of these Smash, having like 50 something characters in it.
Oh yeah.
And how do you go from that to 6 characters? The gameplay could be sick, the animation and the graphics could be sick, but it's like, dude, you need a little variety to make it so that when you're watching these tournaments, otherwise you're going to have grand finals and every damn team is going to be like the same characters. It's going to be boring as fuck to watch any of these tournaments. Seeing mirror matches of, here's Invincible versus Invincible, Omni-Man, and, Robot versus Invincible, Omni-Man, and Gorilla, or, whatever girl, Monster Girl or something. And it's like, okay, so two out of the 3 are the same on the both thing, and just have the flip. In the costume, sadly, the color was exactly the same, just reversed. So, like Omni-Man, it was literally the opposite color was his teammate. The opponent was like the exact same colors, but just flipped. So, like, and I was just like,
It's still early. So even though I said it looked a little jittery, I didn't say I didn't want to play it. I just said it looked a little jittery. I got to get my hands on it. But same thing with Tokon. The Avatar game I need to look at. A little deeper. But shoot, man, I'm just waiting right now. It's just a matter of time. Like I think they said they were having another Tokon beta. I think like early next year, or is it next month?
I can't remember. I don't, again, since it's not on PlayStation, I'm not even worried about it. There's an update coming out in Monster Hunter, like mid-December on the 14th or something like that I'm kind of pumped for. Other than that, I've been streaming a little bit, messing around on some Marvels, some Wuthering Waves, different stuff, just to kind of something to do.
Speaking of Marvel, that remember you was telling me a couple of weeks back that you had uploaded a video of you playing this guy that it never. Yeah, I saw that video. I watched that whole video.
It was a new one. That was a new one.
Oh, that was a new one. Okay.
Yeah, I literally had with Juan. I had a first to 10. I invited him to. We did a first to 10. We had a first to 10 in ranked, and that we played, and then I invited him to a match the next day, and we did 2 first to 10s, and I got destroyed since half my stuff doesn't come out. I'm rusty as hell. I hate the stick I have, like all this different stuff. But one last thing I wanted to touch on before I'm about to let you go here. But let's see. It was just in my head. I can't remember now if it was a show or a game. Man, I can't believe it. I just was like, and I wanted to ask you, and I had in my mind, and I finished what I was saying, and now I forgot. Darn it. What the hell was it? Well,
Brian, I guess it happens sometimes. If I see you hang up the phone, it's going to come to you. You're going to be like, God damn it.
I know. Yeah, I don't know, man. But I've been trying to, stream a little bit and playing stuff and, doing YouTube content, putting stuff out there, whatever. So just trying to do a little bit of that and just so whatever. I don't know, man. It's pissing me off. I can't think of whatever it is. But anyway, yeah, man. So I'm gonna finish that. So thanks everyone for listening. Anybody that checked out the podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.